And Sunday session is primarily to connect, primarily to understand where we are, how we are doing. And although it's an open for all session, it would be very intriguing to know and interact with each other, right? And most of you are from the known circle. So it would be great if you can interact and seamlessly and also ask questions, contribute, because that would be very, very helpful for all of us. Now, why these Sunday sessions? The purpose of these Sunday sessions is that whatever we can contribute to each other, it would be enriching each one of us. It would be enriching each one of us. Welcome, Shekhar. Shekhar, welcome. Nice to see you. And because it enriches each of us, any interaction or transaction or communication enriches everyone. So I thought that let me start off this Sunday sessions once again. It was a continuous ritual for the last 3 years, but I had discontinued for certain reasons. It was at 8 a.m. in the morning, and now we are doing it at 10 a.m. so that it's easier for people to get up on a Sunday morning and spend this time. And many people have requested me that if we can shift to any other day, but being in the many of us are in the corporates, many of us are in business. So any other day might be difficult for us, but yes, we can always try it out, right? If we keep anything in priority, that happens. And I'm so happy that you have kept this session on priority, leaving aside your family or other programs. And I can assure you that while we are discussing this subject on personality and archetypes, certain things will come out, certain things we will discuss, and certain things will emerge out of these discussions. Last week, we had a discussion on understanding letting go. What is letting go? Now, just to let you know that while Magic of Change and Institute of Cognitive and Behavioral Sciences, in both of this, we endeavor to help people to understand themselves and understand the social, the other people. In emotional intelligence, there are 5 parts, out of which the main 2 parts is self-awareness and social awareness. So attending these sessions would help all of us to understand us better and others better. What we will do is we will get into a practice of gratitude, as we always do. And this practice of gratitude is towards Mother Universe. If you believe in that, or whatever you believe in, have gratitude towards it. Gratitude for anything and everything that helped us to make us who we are and where we have reached. So we will do it in silence with our eyes closed or eyes open. However it helps you, it's your choice. And we express our gratitude to Mother Universe, to anyone and everyone around us, to ourselves, to our body, mind, and soul, and to the body, mind, and soul of all our family members and acquaintances. Also to all the animals who contribute to maintain the ecology of this world, to the plants who help to balance the ecology of the world, to the fruit seller who has sold us the fruits that we take and keep us healthy, the doctors who look after us when we are not well, the gym trainer who helps us to be fit when we need it, the school teachers, our mentors, coaches, gurus who have guided us till now to be who we are. I will be in silence from here on for some time and request all of you to please cherish this moment of gratitude. Thank you. To start the session, I will be showing the PPT. I'll be sharing some PPT that I have made, but very elementary. I'm not good in making presentations, but we'll discuss around it. So today's topic is all about personality. If I remember, I did a session on personality about 2.5 years back, Deepak Bhai, during the Sunday sessions that we used to have. And I still remember the participation of people. And to let you know that at any point of time, all of us, right, can understand and know what we are, who we are. There is a beautiful book called Who Are You Really by Brian Little. And there are a lot of books by Carl Jung, which you can read, which you can go through and read. There are books which I will name probably while I'm doing the session. So you can write the name of the books and read them. One book which I would definitely, for coaches, for people who are wanting to be coaches and who are wanting to understand each other better and to be in the realm of coaching or mentoring, The Master and His Emissary is a great book. The Master and His Emissary is a great book to understand how our brain functions. So I have named two books, Who Are You Really by Brian Little and Master and His Emissary. I do not know the name of the author, but it's a famous book. You Google it, you will get the name of the book. It tells us about how our brain works, the right brain, left brain, what is the truth, what are the myths, and how does it work. So these are helpful books. Coming to what personality is, right? First of all,
Sorry, please repeat the another name of the book. Who
Master
are you?
and His Emissary.
Master and His Mystery. Thank you.
You're welcome, Deepak Bhai. And you will very frequently hear the sound of the train honking, right? I cannot help it because my house is situated in a place where the train line is just next to my house. And I have the privilege of traveling in a train. The house shakes and I feel that I'm on the journey. So that's the positive part of it. Okay, so personality and archetypes. I have given an interesting name to it. Personality and archetypes. So what is personality and why I have named it personality and archetypes? Let me just share a little about it. So we will discuss more. So we will discuss primarily two theories of personality today. One is something which is very modern, and the second one is as old as Carl Jung, and he introduced the concept of collective unconsciousness, which we will discuss, and archetypes are a part of collective unconsciousness. Right? So what do you think personality is? What do you think personality is? We all hear about personality, but what do you think personality is all about? Or how would you, not definition, what do you understand by personality? So his personality is good. He is a very timid personality. He is a great personality. He's a great person. When we talk like this, when we use the terminologies like this, what is personality all about? What does it mean?
Sir, personality is okay. Somebody is telling.
No, you carry on.
As personality is the unique combination of my thoughts, my feeling, my behavior, and
Yeah.
uh, as per the combination of these, so I create my unique personality.
Okay. Okay, great. Fine.
It's your identity.
Personality is my identity.
Yeah,
Okay.
my identity.
Okay. Fair enough.
Patoda, just to add to what our sister said, beautifully what she said, sum total of my belief, thoughts, etc., etc., as perceived by others, that would perhaps be what they would consider to be my personality. Vis-a-vis what I think of myself could be my innate personality.
Okay. So what others think vis-a-vis what I think about myself, which is more about self-image, self-reflection, and what others consider me to be. So if I consider a person to be very stubborn, right, it is on the basis of my interaction with him, it is on the basis of behavior with me, it is on the basis of how I perceived him to be. And when I look into why and find him to be very flexible, that is on the basis of my perception. Well said, Ajay bhai. And also my self image, myself, how do I look into myself? So just to add, I'm learning I'm a student of mental space psychology, which maybe I will be sharing with you some parts of it in this month only, maybe on this 10th or 17th, let me see, or 24th. How does it go about it? Or maybe in December first week. Mental space psychology, it says that we position ourselves very clearly on all our relations around us in space. They have some positions around us, and self-image and self-respect also is around us. Say, for example, I am talking to Deepak Bhai. Now, when I'm talking to Deepak Bhai, what do I perceive him to be? And my behavior, according to my perception, will be changing. It is contextual, but it is person specific also. Although it is context specific, it is person specific also. And in space, we locate them higher or lower, or far or near. So you have heard this word that I have pushed him away from my life, which means that he is no more near me. He's somewhere far away. I have pushed him, right? And so personalities impact our lives in a great way. Just I have shared some definition over here. Persons enduring characteristics and behavior that define how they adjust to life. And as all of you mentioned, it includes their interests, value, abilities, emotional patterns, and self-concept, right? So that is personality. Now, why is it important to know what is personality and why have we come here today? So if I would ask you, and anyone can say, what brought you here when you saw the topic of personality and archetypes? What interested you to be in this session today? What interested?
If I may,
Yes, please, Dada.
uh, actually, you see, archetypes I could not understand, nor did I find time to Google it. But personality, why am I attending this program is now I'm feeling that at my age, mutual harmonious coexistence, mutual harmonious, meaningful, value based coexistence would require that we truly understand each other, genuinely understand each other. Otherwise, probably at my age, 63 plus, going to create a lot of chaos for myself. So probably the feeling that I want to make my life more enriching, understanding self and understanding others, and to know from you, because I've known you for so long. So that is what brought me here.
Thank you, Ajay bhai. Humbled by your words, and also I agree with you because we are of the same age group, and probably wisdom, while we carry wisdom, it is also necessary to understand others in a better way. Thank you so much. Yes, Lakshmi.
Yeah, this is just for more self-awareness and also understand the self unconscious patterns, because that is two. And number three is archetypes. Whatever I understand, it is the simple or common recurring patterns where we kind of connect with, So I just wanted to know more myself and also understand
Fair,
others.
fair, Lakshmi. Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you, Lakshmi.
I
Deepak
I
bhai.
I believe, Partha, after some travel of the life, we need some introspective practices, or these things really, you really attracts me with this reference, and I get some tools to look back,
Hmm. Some tools or models to look back.
some tools or models to look back.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. And while I will be talking to you, I will be also be sharing, although that's not included in the presentation, I will be sharing with you certain websites, right, on certain references where you can go and know more about it. Because you see, just one session might not help any one of us. But
Absolutely.
right, and taking it forward is very important. And I assure you, my next session will also be around this. My next session will also be around this, maybe on archetypes and shadows, or on values, something. So that maybe we will decide collectively. So, right. So moving on, what is personality? It is interesting to know that there are around how many theories of personality are there, right? There are lots of theories. I've just collected some of them because it's 1 hour and I wanted to make full justice to it. So there are lots of theories. One theory is psychodynamic theory, which is, contributors are Sigmund Freud. And in psychodynamic theory, we have the trait and social cognitive theory. And in social cognitive theory, we have something called Big Five, which I will be discussing today in personality part. And then we have the social cognitive theory, which talks of behaviorism, and social learning theory, value theory, density distribution model. In humanistic theories, we have phenomenology, and we have analytical psychology, which is Carl Jung. In humanistic theories, we have this Maslow's law of hierarchy, which is also understanding where we are and understanding personality. So with so many personality theories, which one do we look at to understand? So one of the very, very interesting or maybe enriching subject which will really help you is Understanding Emotional Intelligence, the book by Daniel Goleman, where he talks about understanding social self and social awareness, right? So here, if we go, I just thought that I will talk about two types today. And maybe if you are interested, we can get into the other personal types later on. Now, while we get into some of these two personality types, let me just touch upon that a lot of work has happened since the last 3 centuries on personality. Now, while psychology, positive psychology, they seem to be new terms. They have been worked on for a long, long time, right? And Sigmund Freud is a very known name to all of us. The iceberg model, which we use so frequently, was something which Sigmund Freud introduced. And Carl Jung was a follower or student of Sigmund Freud, but after some time they parted because of some, they followed different values and theories. And Carl Jung could not agree with Freud's theory that most of the personalities or behaviors are focusing around sexuality, and he moved around and he got his own theory around, right? So there are so many theories of personality. Now, I was speaking to a lot of people, and when I would talk to them about personality, even students of NLP, students of psychology, while they were able to tell me what personality is, one thing which I found missing and which then I started looking for was, how do we work on personality? Right? How do we work? And one thing which came up to me is the first thing. There are three very positive points in our life. One is we can be aware at any point of time. We can be aware of anything, of ourselves and of something happening around us. The second is, while we are aware, we can make choices, right? The third thing is something which has to do with neuroscience, something which is called neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity means neural pathways in our brain can change. So if you focus on these three things, awareness, choice, and know that there is neural plasticity, which might be your motivation to change, that if you do something, if you want to change your habit, even me at 62, Ajay Bhai at 63, Deepak Bhai above 60, Lakshmi around that age, 50, 55, right? Most of us, or maybe Radha at my age, Ornob and Shomu at a much younger age. We can change our patterns, we can change our habits. And I thought it very, very apt to bring to you the theory of personality, the theory of Big Five to you. Why? I will come to that. Now, awareness, choice is our forte. We can practice it. Neuroplasticity is there in the brain. And if you have a choice, human beings have this ability to choose. That you have joined this session is something that you have made by choice. There was many options. You could have slept for long. You could have gone out with your friends. You could have enjoyed with your family members. Instead of that, you have opted to join this session, which is by choice. So, and when you come by choice, there is a slight change in the neural pathway that happened. And when they wire together, they fire together. And if it continues, that becomes a habit. So that is the purpose that we are discussing this entire session on personality today. Now to come to the Big Five. Before coming here, let me get into this. So earlier, psychologists and neuroscientists and scientists, they thought that two factors have an impact on our personality. One is the biogenics, one is sociogenics. In English language, it is nature plus nurture. Right? Nature and nurture, which helps you to flourish. Now, nature and nurture, if these are the two things, where am I? I am not there. My ancestors, my parents have passed me my genetic traits, and the way I have been brought up in the environment that has contributed to my growing up. Where is me? मैं कहाँ हूँ भाई? मैं कहीं नहीं हूँ. Then they started researching on this, and they found that it is not two, there are three factors. It is biogenics, sociogenics, and idiogenics. So flourishing, when we talk about flourishing, so what is flourishing? What is the difference between flourishing, surviving, thriving, right, or perishing? What is the difference between this? Flourishing is a word which became very common after positive psychology was introduced by Martin Seligman. All of you know that there are 5 factors. We'll cover it maybe again, but I have covered it in my previous sessions. PERMA, P-E-R-M-A, those who have done my session with quantum coaching or the understanding of mind, they would know that PERMA is a formula given by, or a model given by Martin Seligman. P is positive emotions, E is engagement, R is enriching relationships, M is meaning in life, and A are accomplishments, celebrate accomplishments. Accomplishments means I have got up this day. That itself is an accomplishment. But we forget, we take it for granted. Right? We take it for granted that I'm breathing is something which is gratitude, but we take it for granted. So, you know, when there is a relationship which exists in our family, in our house, we take it for granted because they are with us for 15 years, 20 years, 50 years, 60 years. However, when they are not there, the attachment, when it breaks, there is a grief, there is hurt which is there. And then we realize the importance of someone. You will see a very interesting fact. In corporates, although don't take me wrong, in corporates, people are told good things when they are leaving the organization or when it's time for them to retire. He was this, he was good, he was very good. अरे भाई, रहने के टाइम पे क्यों नहीं बोला? बोलते तो और अच्छा लगता, है ना? So someone leaves, someone passes away. Oh, he was a great person. Everyone starts looking into their positive factors. This is the dichotomy. This is the dichotomy. In life insurance, we say that when a person sees a life insurance agent, they run away. But after that, the first question is being asked if that person is below 50, insurance tha kya? But another dichotomy, when the person is around, the things are around, maybe people take it for granted. When they are not there, they miss them. So, you know, and flourishing is a concept where you stay well, where you live well, where you contribute well. Right? Okay. So what is biogenics? Biogenics, which is contributed by ancestors, by our parents. Now, it's a very, very interesting phenomena that I will discuss in the next 15 or 20 minutes. What is the similarity between modern and the previous psychologists that were there? So biogenics, you understand. Sociogenics, the way we have brought up. Ideogenics is our own efforts. Our own efforts. I find Ajay Bhai moving around in places, delivering trainings with great enthusiasm. Now, first of all, that is a choice. Second is his efforts. Deepak Bhai writing a book after his retirement and now planning to publish that Marathi book translate it into English. Papri, after a big jolt in her life, she is now reviving back, bouncing back. Lakshmi, in spite of all her difficulties, she wants to contribute, how she can grow. Everyone. I'm not taking names because of paucity of time, but every one of us has a story. Now, this story belongs to the ideogenics part. After 50 years, Deepak Bhai is not known by the name of his family or by name of his father. He is Mr. Kulkarni's son. He is known by Deepak Bhai for his contribution. That is ideogenics. Now, so the two factors, biogenics and sociogenics, is now added through ideogenics, which is primarily the part. Now, here there are 5 parts. Now, you will understand this. Most of you know what MBTI is, right?
Yes, sir.
Myers-Briggs theory, right? All of us know. Now, how it has come, I will give you the origin also. Now, the big 5 of personality, we call it ocean, the ocean theory. 5 major traits. There are other traits, but 5 major traits create or define the personality. The first one is whether you are open to experience or not. Whether we are open to experiments or not. Or you are closed. What is it? Okay. So I went to Bihar, right? We all have litti chokha. Now, there is a place called Chhapra. Now, in Chhapra, in the junction, they were selling litti and not, chokha. They were selling litti and mutton chop. I said, what kind of food is this? I have heard of litti chokha. We get used to certain terms. So I had it and I enjoy it. Nasi goreng, when I heard the first name, I said, what kind of food it is? Then I understood that it is Singaporean fried rice. Now, if I would not have been open to experience, I would not have experienced it, something new. So, are you open or closed? The second is, do you have conscientiousness or are you casual about your work? How do you define yourself? Are you conscientiousness? Are you serious about something that you do? Or are you very casual? Next one is, are you extrovert? Are you introvert? The fourth one is, are you agreeable? Agreeable people, there are less conflicts with them and they come out with different proposals where their agreeability. Now, you will find a lot of similarities between NLP and this personality. Agreeableness will something match and mismatch, right? In metaprograms, we talk of match and mismatch. And then we have neuroticism, neurotic or stable. Do we have mental agility, or is there a disturbance that we go through? Is there a lot of stress? Is there a lot of anxiety? Or are we stable? Now, anxiety or panic or regret, remorse, this can change a person, or we might find ways of coping with it and staying with it. So, OCEAN. And if you go and Google, In fact, when in MindVantage, when we were doing the program, I had shared this ocean personality test, right? And you can just find out what your personality is all about. There is also a website called VIA, VIA. You can just Google Values in Action by Martin Seligman, and you can rate your character strengths and character weaknesses. These are interesting things, and you must do it. You must do it every 3 months or every 6 months to understand where you stand. And you have to do it very fast and with honesty. So you understand the ocean personality, you understand their big traits, the big 5, and the trait personality, where we talk about how personalities develop and how do we assess the personality. So I will just pause here and take any questions if they are there. Okay. So till now, is it okay? Till now, I hope I'm going a little fast. But
Yes, sir. Just a question.
Yes.
You spoke about that website in VIA. What should I put there?
VIA, just VIA.
And after that?
You just put Values in Action or VIA, let me find out, and you put it there, you will get it.
Partota, is
And
it the same one that we have done during the coaching training?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Martin Seligman, Values in Action, you just put, you will get it. Or I will send it to you. I will
okay,
share
sir.
it
Thank
with
you.
Yeah. So, and Martin Seligman is a very known name, positive psychology. He's the father of positive psychology. And he's a great person who is working very closely with His Holiness Dalai Lama, sir, and working as a bridge between the Western and the Eastern philosophy. Okay. Now we come to another person called Carl Jung, right? Carl Jung, who was a disciple of Freud, but later on he separated from Freud. He brings in a model of the psyche of our mind. He says, now this is very interesting. He says that there are 3 parts of our psyche, or there are 2 parts. One is the consciousness, one is the unconsciousness. Unconsciousness has 2 parts. Consciousness has just got the ego, which is the consciousness. We are aware of what we are doing. That is the conscious part. Unconscious part has 2 parts to it. Now, here is the interesting part. He says the first part is personal unconsciousness, which is very unique to yourself. So, Ornob's unconscious memories and experience is different from mine. He has experienced something, he has gone through something. Now, that is totally different. That is a different. He now talks about collective unconsciousness. Collective unconsciousness is what we have inherited. Now, listen to this. What we have inherited from the ancestors, the symbols that we have inherited, the characters that we have inherited. When a child is born, the child first reaches for his mother's breasts, the milk, and the mother holds the child and feeds her. This is not different for any person. This continues generation after generation. This is how it happens. Red light in most of the cultures means it is a danger or stop. Green means go. Black and white if it is there. Dark and bright, light and shadow. They have very similar meanings across the world. How have we understood it? It is that we have inherited. And each one of us, according to Carl Jung, let me make it very clear, it is not according to me, right? Because many people say, how do you prove it? I'm not here to prove, I'm just talking about the theory. He says that we have inherited from the ancestor, not only from my ancestors, from the entire humanity, over a period of years that has been passed on to us. That has been passed on to us. Now, so the ego part, the personal unconscious, and the collective unconscious, right? And if I see, now let me just move ahead and move to the theory of personality. So this was the model of the psyche, how our mind is there. In the personality part, it's very interesting, right? You will find now similarities between the old psychology school and the new psychology school, if I may divide them according to it. He talks of 2 attitudes and 4 functions. He talks of introversion and extroversion as the 2 attitudes. The functions, he says, are 4: thinking and feeling, sensing and intuiting. Now, do you find these terms very familiar to you? Those who are students of psychology, training,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Where did you find this, Radha?
Yes, sir. We found it. Uh,
Okay, I'll tell you. You found
is
it
it
in,
in transactional analysis?
no, you found it in MBTI.
Oh, yes, yes.
There are two questionnaires, 32 questionnaires and 96 questionnaires.
Correct, Dada.
MBTI.
Absolutely. And if you see, they all find out they are around this plus 2 more functions, perceiving and judging. So 2 attitudes are introversion and extroversion. Functions are thinking, feeling, sensing, intuiting. This was contributed by Carl Jung. Myers and
So
Briggs.
there's a question here. We used to conduct it by the participants in training sessions.
Correct.
That day.
Correct.
Because
Correct.
I have done NLP previously, but I haven't done this MBTI in detail.
Correct.
So we just use that question here for the employees to find their personality type.
Absolutely. And if you see, the personality types are around this.
Yes.
The 2 attitudes. So what Carl Jung said was that attitudes are introversion and extroversion. So if you map the intro thinking and the attitudes, it will be introversion thinking and extroversion thinking, introversion feeling and extroversion feeling, introversion sensing, extroversion sensing, introversion intuiting, extroversion intuiting, right? MBTI, Myers primarily, they brought in 2 more, perceiving and judging. So now you have 2 more combinations, and now there is a commutation and permutation can happen where you can actually have so many personality types. It has been actually the originator was Carl Jung. Now, I do not know whether MBTI is acceptable, not acceptable. I do not know that. I don't want to get into that discussion. But what I'm saying is Jungian thoughts, the theory of personality was extrapolated by Myers and Briggs and used in MBTI by addition of 2 more functions, which is perception and judging. Right? So this is how it was born. And now so is it clear till now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you see there is a lot of similarity. Now let me come to archetypes. What are archetypes? Archetypes are defined as certain innate, primordial characteristics or innate characteristics of humanity. Not of a person, it is of humanity. And Jung, while he talked of 12 archetypes, quantum science talks of 9 archetypes, right? There are a lot of other schools of thoughts which bring in the archetypes. However, archetypes are part of the collective unconsciousness. So what we inherit, one of the things that we have inherited from our ancestors is archetypes.
Sir, is this the 50% of this 50, 40 and 10%, which is
No.
10% is situational that? Not 50. No, not that one.
No, not this one. Right. So maybe you can take it as a part of the genetics part of it if we have to
Yes.
rely on that. But
Yes,
archetypes are inherited, what we have inherited from our ancestors. I'll give you one very interesting thing which came to my mind. All of us have gotras.
Yes.
Now, what are gotras? Gotras are names of some rishis, right? Right. So, say for example, I'm Shandilya Gotro. There are thousands and crores of people of Shandilya Gotro, which means that they have the primary ancestor was Shandilya Muni.
Yes.
If that is the thing, then we will inherit some part of Shandilya Muni, who lived around thousands of years back, and we still have it because genes are a part of that. So if I consider that way, I think Carl Jung's collective unconscious is very, it does appeal to me. I'm not saying it's right, but it appeals to me as a person or as a thinker. Now, there are 4 archetypes which he talked about. There are 4 archetypes which he talked about. He talked about the self, the person himself, which is a collection of what he is. Persona is the mask that we wear. So I change my behavior according to context. When I meet Ornob, I will behave in a particular way. When I meet Deepak ji, so it's adaptability. I will behave in a particular way. When I meet my elderly aunt, I will behave with her I will come across in a different way. Now we change our faces, we change our appearances according to the context, and we behave. That's a mask that we are wearing. And it's very difficult to understand people as they are. Once we know them, we can say, oh, he's a great guy. He's a great guy. The way I have met him, he seems to be a great guy. To know more about him, I have to be acquainted with him. Right? So in Bengali, we say, ekshonge thakle বোঝা যায়. If you stay together, then you come to know how is the person. Right? So,
Exactly.
so you know,
তুমি তো জানো না থাকলে বুঝতে।
So someone says, you know, my wife, someone tells my wife, oh, Mr. Roy is a great, একসঙ্গে থাকো বুঝতে পারবে. You will understand if you live together. How is he, good or bad? So you know that's the mask. The next
Dada,
one.
Sorry to interrupt you. One question in this persona. So self is something which is natural. Am I right?
Yes. Which
And
is you, collectively, which is you.
Okay. And persona, please
Is
correct me if I'm wrong,
Yes.
is what I perceive of what he thinks of me, and I model my behavior to meet his reality of me. Am I right?
If I say yes, to
Like
some
someone
extent,
thinks,
yeah, fair
someone
enough.
thinks I'm very honest. So
Fair
to
enough.
him, you know, I will behave in a manner that will further reinforce
Fine.
this.
Fine. Yes, where actually you the self is the part where you actually reconcile the known, unknown part. You reconcile and be the self. That's why it's the self. Persona is when you adopt to someone. Say, for example, when Ajay bhai comes to me and we talk about something, right? And when I start working with Ajay bhai, we will transact in a different way. We'll communicate in a different way. And then when it comes to monetary matters in our business, I transact in a different way. So my persona is different in different places contextually. That is the persona.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay. Now we come to anima, animus. What is anima and animus? Jung says that when we talk of masculinity and femininity, we exclude very important parts. We exclude a very, very important part. Yeah, sorry. Okay. So we exclude a very important part. What is the important part? The important part is in every person, in every male, there exists. Shopna, if you can mute yourself, please. Okay. Yeah. So in every male, there exists a femininity, and every female, there exists a masculinity. Masculinity and femininity has nothing to do with genders or sex. It is the trait that we have given to a masculine and given a trait that we have given to a feminine. So a lady, she might be very assertive, very firm, right? So there are masculine characteristics present in her. And similarly, we will have a person who is very nurturing. My God, you will have seen male nurses. You have seen male nurses. There is a lot of feminine characters in the male nurses, if you see. And if you have seen female in the CISF or in the army, they have a lot of masculine traits. It's not that they are transgender or there is a sexual orientation or there is something. Those are different characteristics. It is just that every person, so I have some feminine characteristics which might be nurturing, taking care of. Those are the feminine characteristics. Papri may have some characteristics which is very assertive, very firm, right? That is the masculinity in Papri. Now, Anima talks about femininity in masculine people, in male. Animus talks about masculine parts present in females. This is what anima says. And the final one is shadow. The shadow is anything that is not expressed, any dark side of us, which we
Patrika, may I
hide.
interrupt for a moment,
Yeah,
please?
sure.
Then can we say this animus is similar to the yin yang theory that we find in Chinese?
Yes, but it is in something. Femininity in males and masculinity in females.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it is
when we are talking about yin and yang
yes,
in Chinese, Zen Buddhism, then it is similar to this animus and anima. Can
yeah,
we say that?
it is similar, but yin and yang are two extremes of a continuum, right?
Okay.
It is continuum. So it is yin or yang, right? You draw it in a different way. You draw it like this, right? Right, and then invert it. Yin and yang. It is so. I will tell you. It is masculinity and femininity are two. Yeah. So there are two extremes, right? But they're continuums. So there can be femininity in masculine genders, in males, and there will be, not there can be, there will be, there has to be. And there, yes. But yin and yang, it's a slightly different concept, Shormishta, where it is not exactly because it is something in something.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. Shadow, when we talk about, shadow is the repressed dark side of ours, which we also might not know of. And shadow, knowing our shadows is very, very important. Even in letting go, when I talked about shadow, when I talked about shadow in the context, that all of us have shadows. So there is no point in clinging onto a shadow of a person and, fighting with him or fighting with yourself with a shadow. Shadow is very natural. It's Radha and Krishna. It's light and darkness. They are parts in the two sides of the same coin. Carl Jung's theory is a compendium of opposites. If this exists, the other opposite also has to exist. That is very interesting. All of us have opposites. I do not gel with that person means that I do not gel with certain characters of that person. I always say one thing. However big differences are there, we have agreedness. We have that agreed point on some bigger purpose. So always a discussion, if it starts from the bigger purpose, the conflicts are less. We want to buy a car, that's a bigger purpose. What color is the conflict? But car is okay. Model is the conflict, but car is okay. Now, if we go into the bigger purpose, we come. So similarly for shadow work also, there is shadow work and we can discuss shadow in details, right? It's very, very interesting. And to know the shadows is very important. Someone was telling me, I think in our last monthly meet, that in LinkedIn, if you talk about your failures, people get more attracted because everyone fails and they find similarity with them. They are linking with themselves. And lastly, I will talk about.
Yes, sir. Lopamudra had mentioned this when she was talking on, personal brand.
Yeah. So why? Because that's the shadow part. We do not want to talk about our shadows. Yeah. We all talk about glorify ourselves. I am the only person. I am this. I am that. What is my shadow? My shadow is also there. So MBTI talks about these 4 parts Then the question is, there are a lot of ISJP and all those things, ISJF and ETSP, all these personality traits are being done. The originator from where it was taken was Carl Jung. So I will end here, but one request to all of you is, please think again. Please think again. What is that you are looking for? What is that we are all looking for? Are we looking for to be brighter and more agile, or are we looking for just to glorify ourselves and to find out, that this is good or this is bad? Right? So I will pause here. So if any questions are there, then you can please ask me. After that, I will take 5 minutes again. So any questions? So this is just a tip of the iceberg. We can continue with this series. We can get into personality into much more details. We can get into emotional intelligence, positive psychology, and then we can get into the Jungian philosophy. What is shadow, right? There are beautiful books around it. You can read them. For coaches, trainers, it is a delight. They are just delights. So
Sir,
any
what is
question?
the first book you
Who are you
would
really?
suggest?
Who are you really?
Okay, by Brian Little, right?
Brian Little.
Okay, thank you, sir. These are really iceberg tips on the iceberg.
Yeah. Ajay bhai, you typed something. I could not read it. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Ajay bhai. Your words mean a lot to me. Just before we depart break today, I wanted to facilitate 4 of our members, 4 of my colleagues who are metaphors of movement practitioners at this point of time. So the first certification goes to Deepak Sudhakar Kulkarni. Deepak bhai is now a certified metaphors of movement practitioner, and he can practice metaphors of movement. The second one that I would like to confer to is a fighter, whom I call a fighter, Lakshmi. Lakshmi is always a fighter. Lakshmi Suresh is also a certified metaphors of movement practitioner. So congratulations, Lakshmi. And I know how difficult it was for you to attend it and how you attended it. And I can assure you that this would really be helping you in your future endeavors, in coaching, in training. So congratulations. The next name is none other than Dr. Purni Lakshmi Narayanan, who is also AB NLP certified trainer. She is into various facets of mental well-being. And Dr. Purni also, I think she's a real fighter, a real trainer, a great lady at heart. And all the 3 names that I shared now have trifolded hearts. One of the things that you need to have if you want to be a good human being and a great coach is to have a trifolded heart, and all of them have that, right? And I would lastly, Vinay is not there. Vinay will not be able to participate today. So Vinay Balan, I will also share his certificate currently, right? So here we have Vinay. Vinay, you are not there, but you will see this recording. So congratulations, Vinay. Another great person, understands life so well. So congratulations to all 4 of you. And
Thank you, Partha.
and also to let you know that I am conducting a session on metaphors of movement in January, repeating. And the eye movement therapy is a great tool that I'm conducting in the first week and second week of January. Now, IEMT, happy to share with you, while we are working with the nursing fraternity, the medical fraternity, a very good report has come from Bangladesh with one of our practitioners in IEMT. And he said that he uses IEMT with his patients while they come to the hospital. There was one instance, I don't have the photo with me. It will take some time for me to retrieve it, where this girl had a metaphor of hanging herself. And after IMT, the next one was that she is in a garden full of flowers,
Yeah,
right?
बढ़िया.
And I'm also planning to tie up with the Trained Nurses Association of India and working with them. So these are certain things which I wanted to share. And also the NLP at Kolkata, the practitioners will be held from 21st to 25th of December. So anyone wants you to retake and also share names if anyone wants to attend it. That would be of great help to the people who would be attending them. That would be a great help. So that's from my end. Anything that you want to share? Did this session help? I got a feedback from Ajay Bhai, who, yeah. So anything else that you want to share? Any thoughts about today's session? I hope it gave you a bird's eye view of what personality is.
Sure.
For sure,
It's
but
all.
at times
No. Continue.
getting back to the structure, because I think you're an audacious reader and you're a complete seeker, so you bring in that structure, you bring in that clarity, which is very important for all of us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lakshmi.
Yeah.
Thank you. And the
I'm
recording.
totally agree with Lakshmi ji. Nothing to
you.
say new. Nothing to add.
Yes.
Thank
Hi,
you.
I would
Dr.
only like
Purni.
Thank
to
you.
say here that I had attended a
Hi,
program
hi,
30
Riputji.
years back. A program I had attended 30 years back in XLRI when I was working in a company. And then I had taken that MBTI. And today, after having done so many training programs, now I understand that I done it in a very, like, I never knew that there were question of 2 attitudes and four
Functions.
functions, and then the perceiving and judging. So thanks a lot, Parthuda. I mean, it's actually continuing education. You feel so sad about having talked all that without having known things in detail. It's a real eye opener.
Thank you, Ajay
Grateful.
Bhai. Thank you.
Yeah, real eye opener.
This
Thank
coming
you.
from you means a lot to me. And also, Deepak Bhai and Lakshmi, just to tell you, and those who attend, that these Sunday sessions primarily will help to give you certain, because I understand that reading books might be a challenge for many of us. So my endeavor is to read books and bring it to you,
Yeah.
so that you have that idea and maybe that interest generates and you go ahead and study it. So that's the only thing. And Kolkata Magic of Change, thank you. And we will continue to share the thoughts. So goodbye. See you again.
Goodbye.
Maybe next week.
Thank you, sir.
Goodbye.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Bhattuda.
So much.
Bye.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Welcome.
Coach, for the only one thing. If you can help us read books, what is the strategy you use? We can also learn. What is the strategy you use
Okay, only one strategy.
so that we
Only
can model you to read books? Very difficult.
that, I mean, I'm
Yeah,
humbled,
please.
Dr.
Help
Purni.
me, sir.
Just one strategy which I use is that when I read a book, I summarize it, right?
Okay.
And I immediately, so I cannot write properly because I have a problem with my fingers, right? So what I do is I create these modules so that while training I have to learn something, and that helps. So if you go back to my
So you create
YouTube,
the slides immediately.
immediately, yes. So that helps. And if you go back to my
That's good.
previous sessions in the YouTube, you will find that a lot of sessions I had done, about 50 sessions based on books. And so that is how it happens. That is how it happens.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Take care. Have a great week.